Being different can be good. Harvey was still feeling sad the next morning. And he spoke to Sir Topham Hatt about it. Maybe my coming wasn't such a good idea, sir, Harvey said sadly. Nonsense, Sir Topham Hatt said. But sir, the engines don't like me. I'm too different. Being different is what makes you special, Sir Topham Hatt said. And that made Harvey feel a bit better. But as hours passed, Harvey began to feel alone, and still felt as if he wasn't welcome on the railway. Just then, Duck arrived with Alice and Mirabelle. He can see Harvey feeling left out. Poor thing, Duck said. Duck knew his train wasn't due in 15 minutes. So he went to go park his coaches on the side and went to go speak to Harvey. Hello, Duck said. I don't believe we've met, have we? No, said Harvey. This is my second day here, he said. And what is your name? Oh, goodness gracious me, where are my manners? Duck said. My name's Montague, but I'm usually called Duck. They call me the name Duck because I waddle, but I do not really. Well, my name's Harvey, said Harvey. It's nice to meet you, Harvey, said Duck. Are you the new engine that first came yesterday? I am, Harvey sighed. And Harvey told Duck all about what the engine said last night about him. Sorry to hear that, Duck said. Then Duck started to remember the time he first came to Sodor. You're not the only one. When I first arrived, the engines used to order me about, but I stood no nonsense and showed them the ways of the Great Western Way. Oh, I see, Harvey sighed. Then Duck saw the passengers at the station. Oh, sorry I can't chat right now. I have to go. See you later. And Duck set it off, leaving Harvey still feeling sad. A little later, Harvey went to go take a rest at a siding near the station. Then Edward puffed in. He noticed the new arrival at once. Hello, Edward said. Are you that new engine that first arrived yesterday? Oh, I am, Harvey sighed. Your name is Edward, right? I am, Edward said. I'm guessing Duck told you a lot about me, didn't he? Edward said. Yes, sighed Harvey. And he told Edward all about what the engine said about him last night. Edward felt sorry for Harvey. Although he could well relate to how Harvey feels. You're not the only one, Edward said. There's a diesel named Boko who first came to Soda a long time ago. When he first arrived, some engines were a little skeptical to his arrival, but they soon learned that he wasn't part of the other diesels from the other railway. And who knows, they'll hopefully eventually get over it too. But Harvey still wasn't sure if Edward was right. Later, Thomas arrived to take the empty freight cars away. And Edward had to go back to work on his branch line. I have to go now, Edward said. Whatever the engines say, they'll get over it eventually once you do something good for them. And with that, Edward set off. Not long after that, Boko arrived with another freight train. He then eyed Harvey. Greetings, Boko said. Are you that new engine that first arrived? I am, Harvey sighed. I can understand that the engines don't like you and that you're too different, Boko said. Yes, Harvey sighed. Whatever you do, Boko said, take no notice of what the engines say. They'll get over what they say eventually once you do something great for them. Edward told me that this morning, Harvey said, and he told me about how you first came to the railway and the engines were skeptical to your arrival and that you weren't part of any of the other diesels from the other railway. I'm guessing Edward told you earlier, Boko said. Yes, Harvey sighed. Well, Boko said, no matter what type of engine you are or what anyone else is, everyone is special and everyone is equal. It doesn't matter what type of engine anyone looks like, whether if they are a diesel, steam, tram, or a crane engine or not. You may be different, but that makes you very special. I am a diesel, and it doesn't matter what type of engine I am, and I'm proud of it. Not meaning to boast though. Harvey then started to feel better a bit. You've cheered me up, Boko, Harvey said. It's a great pleasure to do so, Boko said. No, I can't chat right now. I have to go back to work on Edward's branch. Boko roared away, leaving Harvey feeling very happy with what the kind words Boko said. Donald and Douglas are passing through another freight train to take to the West faster. The freight cars, however, were up to no good again. The switches to the line where the water tower was faulty. Donald tried to apply his brakes, but it was too late. Harvey heard the crash, and he set it off to the rescue. Harvey put the two freight cars back onto the rails, and he put Donald's tender back on the rails. Then, with all Harvey's strength, he put Donald back onto the rails. Donald felt very grateful, and he and Douglas steamed away to deliver their cars. Later that afternoon, the Scottish friends came to thank Harvey. "Thank you for putting me back onto the rails, Harvey," Donald said. "Aye," Douglas said. "We have to admit, you really are a helpful crane." "Oh, it was a great pleasure to help you," Harvey said. We both had to admit, despite how different you are, you really are useful. "Aye," Douglas said. "Thank you," Harvey said. "Boko once told me the time you and James were skeptical to his arrival, and now you soon learned that he wasn't like any of those other diesels." "Yeah," Donald said. And the three engines started to chat away as old pals. But Percy, on the other hand, was a little skeptical to Harvey. But that's a story, once again, for another day.